Welcome to the e-learning platform by Science Park. So today we are going to cover the topic current, electricity and magnetism. This is the part 1 of the session. Now let's see what are we going to cover in this part. So first of all, we are going to see what are the constituents of an atom. Then after seeing that, we will see what are charged objects. Can objects be charged? Then we will revise a bit about static electricity. Then we will see that how these charges can flow. We will know something about potential difference and current electricity. So friends, what are the constituents of an atom? So here you have an atom, a visualization of an atom, in which you see in middle you have protons and neutrons, and the ones which are orbiting are electrons. You see that electrons are orbiting in specific orbits, right? Now friends, as you know that electrons are negatively charged, protons are positively charged, and neutrons doesn't have any charge. They are neutral. And in a given atom, we also know that number of electrons is equal to number of protons. That is, number of negative charges are equal to number of positive charges. Hence we say that atom as a whole is neutral. If you take any atom, it is not charged, it is always neutral. Right. So you may have known this experiment. So what will happen if we rub a silk cloth on glass rod? Yes friends. So here we have a silk cloth and a glass rod, and now if we rub them against each other, what do you think will happen? Yes, so this is just a revision, right? So friends, when we rub silk cloth against glass rod, there is a transfer of charge. Yes, right. So the electrons from glass rod are transferred to silk cloth. Hence, the total number of negative charges in the glass rod is less than the total number of positive charge. Hence, the glass rod becomes totally positively charged. And as silk cloth gains excess electrons, it becomes negatively charged. Now we can't see with the help of our eyes that whether these objects are charged or not. Hence, we use an instrument called as electroscope to check whether they are charged. Right. Now friends, tell me, we have seen the transfer of charge till now. Now my question is, can these charges be made to flow like this? Can they flow? Right. Friends, if you can recall, if you have to move anything, you need a force. Yes. So we need a kind of force which will move these charges. Right. But friends, before looking at the force, we will know a concept, or we understand a concept called as potential difference. So here we have two tanks A and B, wherein A is filled with water and B is empty, and they are connected through a valve V, which is closed right now. Now what will happen if I open the valve? Now I have opened the valve, and as you can see, all the water from tank A has flown to tank B. As you can see, the valve is still open, but now the water from tank B is not flowing to tank A. Why is that? Friends, this is because tank A is at a much larger or much greater height than tank B. And we say that tank A has a large potential than tank B. And in this case, water is flowing from the tank at higher potential to the tank at lower potential. Yes. Similarly, here we have two objects which are depicted in red and blue color. The red one is a bit hot and the blue one is cold. Now what will happen if we bring these objects together? Like this. So as you can see, there is transfer of heat between these two objects. And after some point, the temperature of both the objects will become same. Now in this case, the heat is transferred from the hot object to the cold object, or the object which is at higher temperature to the object which is at lower temperature. Right. So looking at these two cases, similarly, we have yes. So here we have an electric circuit. Okay, so the charges will flow in this circuit, and the source or the force required for the charges to flow is given by battery or cell. And in this case, the charges, that is the electrons, will also flow from higher potential to lower potential. So here are some elements of the electric circuit. We have some wires, a battery, a switch, and a load. We have used a bulb. Now the switch is off. Now let's see what happens when we switch on the circuit. Yes, as you can see, the bulb is on and you can see the charges are flowing, right? So they are flowing from negative terminal to positive terminal. Now this is because the charges are negative. Hence the positive terminal will attract them and the negative terminal will repel them. It will push them. Right. Right. So the electric current also flows from the terminal which is at higher potential to the terminal at lower potential. So this difference in the potential is called as potential difference. Now the unit of potential difference is volt, symbolically represented as capital V. Now friends, as you have learned about scalar and vector quantities, potential difference is a scalar quantity. And it is named after a great scientist Alessandro Volta. Now we will see what is current electricity. Now these flow of charges which we have seen is called as electric current, right? So in any circuit, charges flow and that we call it as current. The unit of electric current is ampere, denoted by A. It is also a scalar quantity. And 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb per second. This means a current of 1 ampere is said when 1 coulomb of charge flows in a circuit in 1 second. Right. Now the unit of current electricity or electric current is named after another scientist called Ampere. Yes. Now let's summarize the session. Now first of all, we have seen the constituents of an atom, that is electron, proton and neutron. Then we have seen what are charged objects, and we have also seen a demo of that, how objects can be charged by rubbing, and we call it as static electricity. Then we have seen the concept of electrostatic potential with the help of an analogy of water tanks and hot cold objects. Then we have seen the flow of electric charges with the help of a circuit, also called as current electricity. Then we have seen potential difference, its unit, and electric current and its unit. So at the end we have a few questions. So you can pause the video here. You can note these questions down and write the answers to it. Thank you.